Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on the wonderful, decidedly vanilla SMP with me, Vanillaraccoon. Heyo! And in this episode, we're going to be building our roommate a place of his own to live in. And that is because I have been really, I want to say tolerant for now, but I'm not sure if that's the correct word. But I have tried to deal with his constant but he just won't shut up. And then also, at times, when I'm just idly standing around here just to relax after doing a hard day's worth of mining, or getting my build on, or playing around in the soil doing some landscaping, he just won't leave me alone. He'll just charge at me like a bull chasing a red flag or something, and oh, well, now he's not really proving my point with the second reason as to why I want to build. Oh, there we go, see? It's because of that right there that he just wants to, I don't know what his deal is, peeps. I don't know what his deal is. So like I said, in this episode, we are going to be building him a place of his own to live at. And what I would like to do is I'd actually also like to tear down these two structures right here. And that is because at this point in time, I really don't like them. Well, I like them, but I don't like where they are placed at. So I think just so we can at least have a friend, well, not a friendly, but just so we can at least have a neighbor here at the Raccoon Sanctuary, we're going to be building his house in one of the two structures, but we also may build a structure similar to that we built for our not so friendly roommate. And there is just one, there's a few problems actually with this idea. The first is, oh crap, I didn't think that stone brick block was gonna go back there. Okay, the first problem that we have is that in each of these structures we have a villager. And the second problem is we have all of these chests that are filled to the brim with ender pearls. And although I would love to keep the ender pearls, I'm not entirely sure if I would actually really like to do so. I mean, if anything, I could probably set up an ender pearl shop over at Farhaven, so that way we can get some source of income going on the server, and then maybe I'll be able to purchase a few books from Pixelverse's old bookshop over at Freehaven. Because also, for a little fun fact, off camera, well actually not off camera, both during a recent live stream and off camera, I recently died and lost half of my backup set of armor for my diamond armor set and my iron armor set. So I kind of would like to rebuild them along with the tools and weapons that I lost. But I think that's enough jibber jabber. We've laid out the plan for this episode. So how about while I grab the resources and supplies that I'm gonna need, why don't you get comfy, grab a snack, grab some popcorn, grab some pizza, and I'll see you guys in a moment. Can you hear it, peeps? Can you hear it? Give it a listen, alright? There's nothing going on. That's because I have successfully gotten my unfriendly roommate out of my own house, and he has his own, and he also has a roommate that he can go ahead and bother whenever he feels like it. Now, I know, some people may be thinking, why did you go ahead and build that new house off camera, and why did you not show us how it was built? Well, the reason is because I really wanted to just home in on the look of the place. I had a rough draft of it in my head, but when it came to actually bringing it into virtual reality, I just wanted to focus on that. I didn't want to really worry about getting my build on camera, which I'm going to do in a moment. But I just, like I said, wanted to home in on hammering this shape and the structure of it out entirely. Now, as you can tell, well, maybe you can't tell from here. Okay, excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Coming in here real quick. So, as you may be able to tell, there is no bed, but they at least have a crafting chest table along with a furnace and an ender chest. And I guess maybe I should give them a chest as well so they can store stuff in it. But don't worry, peeps. I will be giving them a bed. One will have to sleep on the bed, and then the other will have to sleep on the floor. I guess they're going to have to draw straws to see who is the fortunate one that gets to lay their head to rest on the bed. But speaking of laying their head to rest, it appears to be getting to be dusk. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to go ahead and take a little snooze job, check my chest to make sure that I have everything that I would need to to recreate that structure over there, right on over here, because we have yet again another villager in his little minecart that is encased by stone brick blocks, so he's safe and sound from the night and such. But I'm going to go ahead and just tear down the rest of that structure, relocate the chests that are filled to the brim with ender pearls, and I can already tell that in itself is going to be a tedious project. So I'm going to go ahead, do all of that, and when I bring it back, we're then going to get our build on camera. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time that you have been waiting for, and may I say, it's time to get our build on. So let's go ahead and begin by laying down the groundwork for this build. Now this is going to be going 8 blocks back, so let's just go ahead and count it out before we go any farther. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, and I decided I'm not gonna have a pathway that leads up to this structure, and that's because when it came to looking at the space that I'm working with, I didn't want to try and do any additional work such as landscaping this hillside right here. I just thought, you know what, we're gonna leave that as it is, and it looks like I'm actually gonna have to go ahead and grab myself a crafting chest table. So let's go ahead and snap that real quick, and now let's place it down. Take 6 cobblestone blocks, and there we go. We got some cobblestone stairs, and then we're just gonna lay them down in the front like that, so that way we have cobblestone on both sides of the stairs right here. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab the andesite and we're gonna raise up the corners in a total of 2. Now as you can tell, that structure is, in terms of height, shorter than my main house, and well, I shouldn't say my main house, my house, and that is because I wanted this to be a tiny scale version of the ancient Roman pantheon, and my house then being a small scale version of the ancient Roman pantheon. But let's just go ahead and lay down the wall, and it's gonna be completely full, and it's only on the sides where we're gonna have windows. And then right here, we're just gonna go ahead and bring it together, but we're gonna leave this 1 block space right there, obviously, so then we can have a entrance. And then, well, yeah, an entrance. I was gonna say a doorway because we may want to exit another way, but I kind of was thinking fairly fast there, and I don't know what I was thinking. So then we're just going to lay down our pillars, which are composed of polished diorite and cobblestone walls. Now all we got to do is we just got to begin to work on the roof. So on the side walls is where we're going to be placing down our stone brick blocks, and then we're going to do the exact same thing right on over here. And in the event that anyone is building this with me and if I'm moving too fast for you all, then feel free to pause the video, and also feel free to rewind it and play a certain part of this building process as many times as you'd like to, because this is a fairly simple build and I have been playing around in my head with the rough draft of it. I sort of have a feel for where each block is going to go, so that's kind of why I guess you could say I'm able to build this at a quicker speed than I normally would when getting my build on. So now that we have that established, let's go ahead and just finish off the front wall by placing stone brick blocks on top of it, and then on top of those 3 stone brick blocks that are both at the front and the back, we're going to then lay down some stone brick slabs, and then we're just going to bring it out so we have a little bit of an overhang. And if you actually look up ancient Roman architecture, or you look up ancient Roman structures renovated or reconstructed, whatever the word, reconstructed I think is the word to use in this case, you'll note that they seem to have a bit of an overhang, but I don't know if their overhang would come this far out. But because this is Minecraft after all, I am just gonna go ahead and exaggerate it so it looks a little more interesting, a little more appealing to the eye. Now, what I'm gonna do at this point is, do I have already stone brick stairs made? Yes, I do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a frieze to the front of a structure. Now, a frieze is, if you were to look up an ancient Roman structure or even an ancient Greek structure, you'll note that in the ceiling, in the wall, fairly close to the ceiling, you'll see a little picture. It's not a painting, but it's a picture that was carved in stone, and it generally would have something to do with that culture's history or their mythology. And since we're doing an ancient Roman thing, this is going to be from an ancient Roman perspective. But a frieze would just be a depiction of some historical or religious event that had occurred once in their lifetime, or one that has been passed, or is a story that has been passed down for a long period of time. But I think this is something that I had done in my Nether hub, where I was thinking of actually, instead of trying to just create an intricate looking design with the use of stone brick stairs and slabs, I was thinking of actually taking paintings, because in this resource pack, at least, when you place down a painting, it actually looks like something that's well, actually no, it doesn't look like, it is a very small scale rendition of a Bob Ross painting, and I at least think that is fairly cool. But let's go ahead now, and let's just go ahead and relocate our diamond axe down into the bar, and we're gonna go ahead and pick up our crafting chest table, and we're just gonna place it down fairly similar to what the interior design for that structure is like. Do I have a furnace on me? No, I don't, but I have some cobblestone, so I'll be able to actually make one just fairly quickly and easily, just like that. And we're gonna place it down just like that as well. And you know what? No. I did say that I wanted this structure to have its own unique trait to that is over there. So why don't we just go ahead and mirror it? So that way then the bed will be on this side, and then all of the utilities will be over here. Now let's just go ahead and finish up the structure by taking 6 glass blocks and creating enough window panes so then we can lay down the windows. And I don't have any dark oak on me. Do I have any dark oak in this double chest over here? Let's go ahead and take a peek. Yes, I do, and I have just enough, and I do believe in my builder's beginner's kit. Ah, yes, I do. Excelente. We have just a few bits short of a stack of the sticks, but nonetheless, we have enough so that we can go ahead and make a dark oak fence gate, and then we'll just go ahead and place it down right there. And while I am thinking about it, I think, yeah, so if we take a quick little glander into my house here, you'll notice that we have a double chest just beneath the bed, and I think I'm going to do that for both of these structures that we just established. And that's because then I can go ahead and keep the ender chest right beside the furnace, and then if anyone were to come over here and spend the night and they need a place to store their stuff, then they could just go ahead and place it under their bed. Because, well, I mean, am I the only one who tends to take stuff and then just stuff it under the bed or in the closet when it comes to having to clean my room? If I am the only one who does that, then, well, quack. But I think when it comes to getting our build on, that's going to do it. Now, all I'm going to do for the remainder of this episode off camera is I'm just going to begin to do some landscaping. And I've done quite a few episodes where I've done that on camera, so I don't want to seem like I'm becoming fairly repetitive with providing that in terms of content for a DVLP. So let me go ahead and get a snooze job and then do some landscaping, and I'll bring it back when we're ready to end this episode. You've heard me say it before, and you're going to continue to hear me say it, and that is because with practice does come progress. But let me just go ahead and show you how true this is. So after playing around in the soil and doing some landscaping, a few trees were planted, and just to help them look a little more beautiful, I took a pair of shears and shaped them, and then I took some bone meal and did a bit of a bone job around the place, and wherever there was a bald spot or maybe a flower or two that I didn't think suited the area, I just replaced it with a leaf block, or maybe I placed a leaf block within the ground just to help add some detail. And then right beside each of these houses we have a small garden that is outlined with leaf blocks. And then to mark the entrance slash exit point of these gardens, we have a little archway, and I at least am fairly happy with how all of this turned out. Oh, and then right over here we have a little patio area. So then once this place is fairly lit, and then we also have a few iron golems roaming around ensuring the safety of the villagers, we can then let them roam around freely, well, semi-freely. I don't want to risk them going through the nether portal and into the nether, and then God knows what will happen from there. But maybe this is a little area that the testificates will come and just chat it up, discuss various trades that they've done with various players, or maybe even discuss potential new trades to do with various players. But I think that is going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, then please give that like button a hug, and if you're new to the channel, then I highly encourage you to check out the rest of the content that is here, and don't forget to turn on notifications when subscribing. Also, if you'd like to, feel free to leave a comment saying what you thought about this DVLP, whether it's something positive, something negative, because in the end, it helps me grow as a content creator, but it also helps me provide the next great video that you want to see. So, with that being said, I am Vanillaraccoon, and I would like to wish you a very happy day, and peace out.